Welcome back to the Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgety, Season 2. This season, we are expanding the conversation, hearing from mental health experts, professionals from different industries, and people in the sports world about how they take care of their minds, handle challenges, and build the mindset to thrive both on the job and in life. So, grab a coffee, get comfy, tune in, get inspired, and let's dive into some fascinating conversations. Remember, your mind is super powerful, and with the right tools and knowledge, you can master your mental playbook. And while you're doing that, take care of you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgety. Today we are going to talk about ways that you can help your child open up, talk to them in a way that they will want to open up. Yeah, some tips, tools. Lily's going to ask me some questions. Yeah, so let's go.
The first question would be, why do children or your kids or teenager, or even actually the first question could be, when do kids tend to stop talking or opening up to you?
Yeah. They could be young, right? A lot of times small children don't understand their emotions, or they can't articulate their emotions, and so they might withdraw or not want to talk about it. They could be young if you meet them with like, oh, what's wrong with you now, kind of thing. Typically speaking, on the most part, teenagers don't open up a lot, but that could be for a number of reasons too. It just could be, amygdala rules their brain more. It could be the dynamics. It could be that they're embarrassed. It could be, that sullen teenager kind of thing where they just want to go to their room, and teenagers go through this thing that parents don't know anything. So it just, there's so many factors. You could have little ones that want to tell mom and dad everything, or people everything, and you could have little ones that don't feel safe to tell anyone anything, depending on what their experience is.
Yeah, so like why would, because sometimes that happens, you'll have kids that will stop opening up to their parents, but they have this one particular person, let's say like what you
Therapist,
did. Or like a school counselor or guidance.
Yeah, they have different
names
depending on the school board, or if it's a city or town. Yeah,
and they would open up to you, but not their parents. Like, what's happening there?
They feel safe. They don't feel judged. Also, not just that, right? Some kids don't want to disappoint their parents. They don't want to hurt their parents or make their parents worry about them. They know we're not going to worry. Or, especially kids that are going through like parental separation and divorce. They'll often say things like, if it's a contentious divorce especially, they'll say things like, I don't ever want to tell mom that I have fun at dad's, and I don't ever want to tell dad that I have fun at mom's, so I just don't say anything. Because they'll say, oh, it's better there, or they'll say, or I don't want to say anything about dad because mom quizzes me on it, or I don't want to say anything about mom because dad quizzes me, or they put each other down, whatever it happens to be. So kids just don't talk. They talk to us, and they tell us all these things because they know that we're not going to tell their parents what they say.
Yeah. But then what if it's like you have a decently healthy relationship, like the whole family is, but they seem to just not want to open up. Like, what is something that parents might be doing? And it's not like out of like being mean or anything. It's just like you're just not realizing you might be doing it.
Trying to solve their problems is the biggest one. Not listening and giving solutions is the biggest one that we hear. Or minimizing because they're just kids. And I probably did the same thing as a parent. I don't remember if I did. I know solutions. I know that, Ryan would come to me and I would often say, well, try this or this, right? So there's that. But yeah, I think number one is telling them what to do or how to solve the problem. And they just want to hear, that's really hard. Or I'm sorry, that sucks. Or, Especially because sometimes when you just give them solutions, they think that you don't trust them to solve things themselves too. Sometimes they just want to vent. But the second one would be minimizing, saying, oh, like if it's a breakup and they're 14 or 15, you're not even going to remember this person when you're older, or it's not even real love, you're too young, that kind of thing. And that's pretty blunt, but it can be as subtle as, you're young, you'll bounce back. That's minimizing how they're feeling in that moment, right? So those are the two main ones that even in like healthy families and stuff that kids... And then I think the third one is not wanting to disappoint or worry their parents. If there's bullying or something, often they keep it to themselves because they don't want to upset or worry their parents if they're struggling.
But how would kids know that it would upset their parents? Like, it sounds like a weird question, but like...
Yeah. Sometimes they don't know it will, they assume it will, because it's hard for them. So sometimes parents may be helicopter parents, where, you know, they're reactive. Sometimes parents not knowingly put their own anxieties on their children. So I did a video like a year ago on just a short on when so if a kid comes home from school, and let's say you had bullying as a child, and a kid comes home from school and you say, how was your day? And they say, all right. And then you say, what'd you do at recess? Oh, nobody played with me. So, and they're like, and then you go, what? Why wouldn't anybody play with you? You know, and you get upset. That must have been so hurtful. I can't believe nobody... Did you tell the teacher? And you're reacting to your own childhood trauma or whatever it was. And the child may have not really thought about it. And, you know, sometimes it's like, well, I just went and played with someone, or I just went and walked with the teacher or whatever. But now that's like, oh, that upsets mom. That's a bad thing. So then they don't want to upset mom.
Yeah.
Or maybe mom or dad are emotional people, and so they see them reacting to things, and they assume. Sometimes you have one child in the family that is difficult, and so that takes... so the child that isn't difficult, there's a lot of pressure on them. And I hear this even like adults that come in, they break down crying and they say, my brother or my sister caused my parents so much heartache and trouble that I always tried to be perfect so they didn't have to worry about me. So if they were going through something, they wouldn't tell their parents because they didn't want to add to their burden, finger quote again, burden of their sibling.
Going back to what you were saying, this might sound super weird, but you were talking about how they react for this reason. They share with you as like a professional versus their parents because of like your reasonings, like what you said. What are these, like from a textbook, or is it experience that these are what the kids are saying to you kind of thing, or like teenagers?
Like that we're not judgmental and stuff like that, you mean? When I said they talk to us because we don't just give them solutions, we listen, we don't judge.
Yeah, exactly. You were saying
we listen and we don't judge. Yeah.
And then it's like, is you're saying that, but is it because you just know from like the textbook, like, yeah, of course, like parents, they do this, or is it the child that 13-year-old is straight up telling you it's because they keep giving me solutions?
Yeah, and I think again you're gonna laugh, but both, right? Because 100%, I've had 100 kids tell me that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to tell my mom because she doesn't listen, but you just listen to me. My mom tells me that to forget about it, or my dad tells me it's not to worry about that stuff, it's stupid or whatever, but you make me feel like I'm being heard and understood. And then also we just know in our experiences, but in our studies, in our how parent-child dynamics often happen, what we bring in from our own childhood to parenting and stuff, we know all that stuff. So it's also like textbooky that is part of it too. Yeah.
No, I just think it's important to know that it's also still coming from the kids. It's not just like knowledge up here. It's like it's straight up the kids are saying it.
Yeah, I would say probably if I took 10 kids that I've worked with, teens or children, or that, you know, Erin or Jade or Rachel any of the girls have worked with, I would probably say 6 or 7 out of those 10 would say that they open up to us or have said that to us. And not that all the parents are horrible. It's just, it's your kid and you're trying to solve their problems. Like we want to shield them from harm, right? And so we just try to find a solution for it instead of A, getting them to find their own solution, but B, just supporting them in finding that, or just listening. How many times do you just want to vent? You don't want someone to tell you what to do. You just want to say like, right? And so do kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This question is kind of parallel.
Yeah.
And in a different, so it might open up other stuff, but so, and I'm asking this question because I think I fear it a little bit, but
Yeah.
when kids keep secrets from their parents because another adult said it, like, and they actually do it, like, what's happening there, like, mentally, and like, how do you maneuver that?
I might be confused. So kids are keeping secrets of something an adult said? Or an adult said to keep a secret?
So the adult said to keep. So like, let's say I'm a child and I don't want to tell something to my parents because this other adult told me this thing, but like, don't tell your parents.
Okay. Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I've had children, well, one in particular, like there was a teacher and it was 9-year-olds. And this teacher was like, things he was saying to the kids. And so I was like, what? And he said, and you don't need to tell your parents that I said any of this stuff. Right. And so the 2 of the kids did tell their parents. So the parents went to the school. And then he actually said, yeah, so-and-so and so-and-so ran to the parents and told them. And if you do it again, this teacher was suspended. But NCIS was called. That one year I probably had 12 kids that this teacher was involved with that came for help. So yeah, like even those situations, right? I think it's from day one, not birth, but like, early on, behaving in a way, not just using the words, but talking to your children about, you can come to me for anything. And if anyone ever tells you not to tell me, I want you to know it's safe to tell me, that it's important to tell me. And I am not going to get upset with you. You will not be in trouble. And that's one thing that we tell. Do not punish your children for honesty. Because if you punish your children for honesty, they're not going to be honest with you. And so, and I used to say that to Ryan, and I know they say it to my grandchildren too. If you tell the truth, if you've done something wrong and hurt somebody, you might be in trouble, right? But you won't be in trouble because you told me the truth.
Yeah.
Because you do have to distinguish that too, because if a child just punched another kid in the face and says, oh, I just punched them, they're going to be disciplined for that, right? But so you have to distinguish it. You have to teach that to your children early on by modeling it and by your words, that you can tell me anything. And if they tell you something, this is hard, but if they tell you something that, like that situation where the kid came home and said nobody played with them, even though inside you're like, oh, I'm going to lose my caca, right? You have to be, okay, thank you so much for telling me that. And you have to, you have to instill it early on.
Yeah. Okay. But what's happening in the situation also with, let's say you think you're doing, like, you did great, like,
yeah,
but your child is still, like, they kept that secret.
Yeah.
Like, why did the kids keep that secret from the other adult? Like, what's happening in their brain for, like, them not wanting to tell their parents?
It could be fear. It could be that they trusted this adult. It could be that the adult threatened them. There's a lot of things, right? And the thing is, we may think we're doing a great job. There's no manual to be a parent, and we're all going, we we've all either screwed up or are going to screw up, because you don't have this baby and it comes with a handbook that says when this life situation happens, this is how you're going to deal with it, right? You just have to take it as it comes. And there's going to be some times where they might tell you something and you might be like, what? And then depending what that child's personality experiences are like, they may take that what as, I shouldn't have said that. So it's hard to like pinpoint exactly what's going on in that kid's head, because we've talked about neuroplasticity and everything, and if there's been previous experiences, was it something big that happened with this adult? I have a lot of situations where, again, separation and divorce, where one parent will say, don't tell your father that so-and-so was here, or that, or don't tell your mother that. And so it's a loyalty thing, and they don't want to hurt that parent. There's so many different factors but all I can say is the best thing to help with that is to talk to your child early on about the importance. There's nothing you can tell, or you can't tell mommy or daddy that we will ever not love you. And, there's nothing you can say to me that would make me not love you.
Yeah.
And I say that I don't work with kids as much now, but when I did, I say, or when I do EMDR with kids, I'll say, when I'm talking about confidentiality, I'll say, I can't tell your parents what we talk about, but you can tell them whatever you choose to tell them about our therapy. And then there may be things that they're struggling, they don't know how to tell their parents. And I'll say, I think it's important that mom should know this, like if it's someone's hurting, like at school, like bullying. If it was an adult, then I would have to report that. But if it's bullying or something, and then they might say, but I don't even know how to tell her because she'll get so upset. And I'll say, do you want me to help you come up with a way to tell her? Or do you want to bring mom in here and I will tell her and I'll help you tell her this? Or I'll support you in that if you lose the words. And often it's like, yeah, can we do that kind of thing? So I think, I always encourage, depending.
Yeah.
I don't think they have to tell their parents everything.
No, yeah.
I mean, we don't tell each other everything, right? I think that big things, parents, and sometimes I'll say, do you think that maybe if mom and dad knew that, or mom or dad, depending on the situation, guardian, grandma, sometimes grandpa, do you think if they knew that, they'd be able to help you? Do you think if they knew that, it would take some pressure off of you because you're not doing it all by yourself? Those kinds of things. So I'll like guide them in that way.
Okay.
But for kids that aren't seeing a therapist, parents need to guide them in that way. Just making it safe. Making it your child feel safe to talk to you.
Safety is huge.
Yeah.
If, let's say, parents didn't take these steps and they find that their child doesn't want to open up, or their teenagers aren't opening up, how can parents create like that safeness, that trust over time instead of forcing openness? Yeah,
that's what I was just going to say. Don't rush them. Don't force them. Don't saying things like, I can see something's bothering you. You don't have to talk to me about it right now, but if you want to, I'm just going to be in the kitchen. Right? By using messages like, first of all, early on, talking about emotions, about your own emotions. One thing that I see a lot is parents don't want to show their kids their emotions. They think like, I don't want to cry in front of them. I've had that. I don't want to cry in front of them because I don't want to upset them. Like the parent. And I'm like, you just lost your father. It's okay to do that. Well, I don't want, okay, but you can say, I'm crying because I'm sad. I miss grandpa right now. That's actually teaching them it's okay to have emotions, right? And so being open about emotions, openly discussing them, coming home from work and saying something like, oh, I had a really bad day today. I had a difficult coworker and I wasn't even sure how to handle it at first. Using your experiences, not like dumping on your kid, but using your experiences to teach them to talk about it. But active listening, keeping your mouth shut, keeping your mouth closed and just letting them talk, validating them. And I'm not talking about only in the tough times. If they come home from school and they're like, ugh, I am so tired. Oh, what was daylight? Or what was daylight? What was your school day like today? Open-ended questions instead of, did you have a good day? Mm-hmm. What was good about today and what was bad about today? As a general, like I have some clients at dinner time, they always have dinner together, which was when I was growing up, that was the norm, right? They always have dinner together and they go around the table and it's like, what was a good part about today and what was hard today? Mm-hmm. Not bad, but hard.
Yeah.
And so that encourages open communication as well. So open-ended questions, validating, not minimizing, no, not providing solutions, interrupting them with solutions. That happens a lot too. Yeah. And again, doing that in the moment, but doing that as a general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not forcing, I think, is one of the biggest ones too, because we keep at them. Just tell me. I can see you're upset. What's bothering you? What if someone did that to you when you just need a process? And kids are amygdala primary, right? So their prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed yet, that rational thinking processing part. So they take longer to process, but they react sometimes irrationally before the logic part, the prefrontal cortex, can catch up.
Yeah.
So they may not be able to say it in that moment. They may need time to process it and to activate the prefrontal cortex. You pressuring them to tell you actually activates the nervous system instead, which activates the amygdala more.
Yeah.
Right? So
what should parents avoid saying when a child finally opens up? So just like simply.
Okay. Again, when your child finally opens up, don't jump to solution. Don't say things, and this might sound like, what? But I hear it all the time. Don't say things like, that's what you were upset about? That's not that big of a deal, right? Minimizing it, but that happens so often. Oh, I thought it was something big. Don't jump in with how it happened to you as a child and how you just sucked it up or you got over it.
How does one react if they're saying something like they usually don't talk to you and they're saying something good, like something good that happened that day, but like your kids usually don't, let's say they're teenagers and they don't usually talk to you and then they're saying something good. Is there a bad way to react to that?
Like they just come home and say, oh, this happened?
Yeah, and I'm so super excited about it. And then you're like maybe shocked, like, oh my God, they're talking to me.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. I think that something bad could, if a kid just comes home and says, even if you're not shocked, a kid comes home and says, oh, this happened at school, and you're making dinner and stuff, and you go, oh yeah, because you're in your own head, that's bad. They're not going to share good things either, if that's what they get. If you right away say, oh, that's cool, this happened to me today too, and bring it about you and what happened in your day that was good. Or, oh, I'm glad you had a good day. Mine sucked. This is what happened. Those would all be bad. If it's like, oh, my kid's talking to me, something that parents do sometimes is like, oh my God, you're telling me this? And they get like, you don't usually tell me this. And then the nervous system gets activated. Like, is this bad? Is this a threat? Is this, maybe I shouldn't tell them this stuff. Maybe the kid doesn't want a big deal about it. They're just excited, and then the parent makes it a big deal, and then they're embarrassed. You know, it's balancing that. Like if it's something really cool, like they won an award at school or something, and they come home and tell you, and it's like, that is so amazing, right? Don't say, that makes me so proud. You can say, I am so proud of you. Because when you say, that makes me so happy, that makes me so proud, that makes me so angry, you're teaching your child that their self-worth is based on how they make others feel, right? Or that they're responsible for how other people feel. So if you say, oh, I'm so proud of you, I'm so happy, you know, even though, yeah, people can argue that, well, that's kind of saying the same thing. It's not, because it's using the word that makes me, or you make me. So those would all not be good things to say.
All right. That's what I got.
All right. Thanks for joining us for this episode of The Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgety on talking to your children. There is so much that we can talk about on this topic. It could be a full, hour long, and we have talked to Jade and Aaron, and I think maybe I'll bring them back on, or Rachel as well, and just dive into it a little bit more, because it is something that I think every parent struggles with, balancing that, or not understanding, not knowing. So if you have specific questions, because we are going to do a follow-up, if you have specific questions to this or comments or want to know more about certain topics, please drop us a comment, send us a DM, and we will add that into that podcast. And until then, or until our next episode, take care of you. That's it for today's episode of The Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgety. Remember, the work doesn't end because the episode does. Thank you so much for listening and for being part of these conversations. If you're enjoying the podcast, please rate and follow us on Spotify. It helps us grow and reach more people who might need this too. And don't forget, take care of you.